In this video, I'm going to show you why the relationship between Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt did not last. And I'm going to show you if this was a good match. And I'm also going to predict for you if this couple will ever get back together again in the future, based on numerology. Hi guys, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen, welcome. So I've gotten a lot of requests from you guys recently to do a video on why the relationship between Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt did not last, and if there's a chance that this couple will ever get back together again in the future. And so I've already done a video on why the relationship between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie did not last. And I'll be talking more about why their relationship did not last in this video also. And so we look at the numbers in two people's charts and we can predict with great accuracy how compatible a couple will be and how likely they are to last in the future based on the numbers in their chart. And so I want to say beforehand that my analysis today is going to be completely objective and it's going to be completely based on the numbers in the celebrities' charts. So if I say something that offends you, I apologize to you, but I'm being objective, so I'm showing you both sides. But I do apologize to you if I do say something that offends you. And you don't have to know anything about numerology in order to watch this video today. I'm going to break it down for you and I'm going to make it very simple. These are the four most important numbers in a numerological birth chart. The life path number is the most important number in your chart because it's the reason you are born and your main purpose in life. The expression number is how other people see you and how the world sees you. The soul's urge number is what makes you happy in life and what brings you happiness. The birthday number is all of the skills and talents and abilities that you come down in this lifetime with to support your life's purpose. I have already gone ahead and calculated these charts ahead of time. If you want to do this on your own, or if you want to calculate your own birth chart, I will leave a link to an app below that you can use that is completely free. All you have to do is put in your birth date and the first, middle, and last name on your birth certificate, and it will calculate your chart for you. So I'm just going to briefly go over why these two came together, and then we'll get into the good stuff, if they're a good combination and why exactly it didn't last. So Jennifer's life path number is a number 2, so her main purpose in life is to have cooperation, balance, to be in harmony with another person, as you can see from the number meanings. Brad's life path number is a number 4, as you can see from the meanings. His main purpose in life is to have focus, to be dedicated to his work, to have stability, and to have control. So these two numbers are actually very compatible with each other, and this is probably why they came together to begin with, because like I said, the life path numbers are the most important numbers in your chart, and that's who you are at your core. So at their core, they're very compatible numbers, and they're very compatible with each other. 2 is a multiple of 4, and they are both even numbers. So these two numbers have a similar energy, because 2 is a multiple of 4, and also the even numbers tend to have a similar energy, and the even numbers tend to go well with each other. They tend to be a little bit more stable than the odd numbers, and the odd numbers have a similar energy and they go well together. So 4s are very business-minded people. They take things very seriously and they like to be in control. Donald Trump is a 4, so he would be like a good example of what a 4 would be like. I feel like I've done so many videos on 4s lately that I just, I know so much about them at this point. Yeah, so that kind of gives you an idea about what they're like. And 2s are very sensitive people. They're here to have cooperation and balance with other people. So they tend to be if they're on more of the negative side of that number, because in numerology, all numbers have positive aspects, but they also have negative aspects too. So if they're operating on the negative end of the number 2, they can be pushovers at time and people pleasers. You know, they want to cooperate with people. They want to be in balance with people. So they'll tell people what they want to hear, and And sometimes they have that people-pleasing side to them. And they're very sensitive. And people typically really like number twos because they really care about what other people think about them, and they really want to have harmony in relationships with other people. So people typically really like number twos, and we can see this with Jennifer Aniston because she's very popular. You know, a lot of people like her, and you rarely hear people say negative things about her. And so this people-pleasing, easygoingness that the twos have works really well with the number fours, because the fours like to be in control and they want to be the one that's controlling the relationship. And the twos will cooperate with that, and they'll go along with whatever the four wants them to do because they want to have harmony and they want to have balance. And so that's why this combination usually works pretty well. And actually, Jennifer Aniston has a lot of the two energy in her chart because her birthday number is a master number 11. And so with 11, if you add the two ones together, you get a number 2. So she has a lot of that 2 quality within her. Okay, so here's where the relationship probably started to go wrong. So like I said, all numbers have positive aspects, but they also have negative aspects too, or things that we would consider to be negative. Twos that are operating on the more negative end of that number can be codependent sometimes, and they can be a little dependent and they can be a little needy. Not all of them, I'm just saying the ones on the more negative end of the number. The main life purpose of number twos, like Jennifer Aniston, is to be in balance and cooperation with another person. So some of them will become very dependent on the other person that they are with and really need to be with another person. Some of them have a lot of difficulty being alone and really need to be in a relationship with another person. And so if they are demonstrating this codependency and this needy kind of behavior, that can be a huge turnoff to a number 4. 4s can be like very workaholic at times. They're very focused, very dedicated. And so if they are more on the workaholic end of the number 4, then that can be a huge turnoff to them. And remember, Jennifer Aniston has a lot of the 2 energy in her chart. She has a little bit of an imbalance of it because she has the life path number 2, and then also her birthday number is an 11, which has the energy of a number 2. So, okay, so another problem with this relationship, and this is probably the main reason why it came to an end, is that Brad Pitt's soul's urge number is a number 5. And as you can see from the number meanings, 5 represents freedom, change, transition, seeking out sensory experiences, travel. So those are all of the things that bring Brad happiness in life, because the soul's urge number determines what makes you happy. And so what brings Brad Pitt true happiness in life is having change and having transition and seeking out sensory experiences and having different sensations. And he probably gets bored really easily because of this, because he has this number as a soul's urge number. Even though what's funny is he's probably actually a very boring person himself, because he has an imbalance of this number. He has 2 4s in his chart, so he has a little bit too much energy of the number 4. And, you know, I'm not saying that all 4s are boring people, but in his situation, he probably is more on the boring side because he has a lot of the 4 energy in his chart. So he really needs stimulation, and he probably really needs somebody who's very exciting because of this, and because he has the number 5 as his soul's urge number. And so 2s, like Jennifer Aniston, as much as everybody loves them and as much as they get along with people really well, they're not always the most exciting people. Like, as I said, the even numbers tend to be more stable. And the odd numbers are not as stable, but the odd numbers tend to be a little bit more eccentric, and they can be a little bit more exciting and a little bit more on the fun side because of this. And Jennifer Aniston's expression number is an odd number, number 3, so we see her as a person who's very happy, joyful, very social, And also her soul's urge number is a number 7. So what brings her true happiness in life is meditation and introspection. And but her life path number is a number 2, which is who you are at your core. So at her core, she is more like an even number. And Angelina Jolie, her life path number is a number 5, which is an odd number, not as stable as Jennifer Aniston. And so Angelina Jolie is probably very different than Jennifer Aniston in many different ways. 2 and 5 are very different numbers. As I had mentioned before, 5 is all about freedom, change, and transition, and it's an exciting number, and that's her life path number. And this is probably why Brad Pitt ended up going for Angelina Jolie. 5s are all about having fun, and so they're a lot of fun and they're very exciting, and she was probably more exciting and a little bit more fun to him than Jennifer Aniston was. And his soul's urge number is a number 5, so what makes him happy is having that excitement and having that fun, because the soul's urge number is what makes you happy. And so when Angelina Jolie came along and was all of those things that make him happy, being exciting, being fun, liking travel and liking change, it probably was very tempting to him, and that's probably why he cheated on Jennifer Aniston. And also with 5s, if they're on the more negative end of that number, they tend to be cheaters. So this is very common with 5s that are on the negative end of the number. Not all 5s, just the ones that are on the more negative end. Because like I said, they are seeking out different sensory experiences. They are looking for fun, and they like travel, and they like change and transition. So because of that need for change, sometimes if they're on the negative side of the number, they will cheat. And cheating is something that will happen because they need the change and they need the transition. Also, another common thing is addiction. Addiction to substances such as alcohol or drugs, because they're looking for a sensation. And, having a new person come along into your life gives you that new sensation that the 5s are looking for. And 5 is not Brad Pitt's life path number, but it is his soul's urge number, and that's what makes him happy. So that's a very key number in his chart. Another thing too, as I had mentioned with Brad Pitt, is that he has a little bit of an imbalance of the 4 energy. So, a little bit too much of that 1 energy in the chart. And by the way, if you have an imbalance in your chart, this is actually very common with people. You have more of one of the same number. It's something that I see a lot, and I'm actually going to be doing a video on an easy way for you to balance this imbalance. So stay tuned for that in the near future. But as I had mentioned, Brad Pitt does have a little bit too much energy of the number 4 in his chart. So he's probably a very controlling person, because 4s like to be in control. And he's probably very, very controlling. And he's probably more on the boring side because he has too much energy of this 1 number. And so if he is more on the boring side, then somebody like Angelina Jolie is going to really appeal to him, because she is not boring. She's exciting. She's fun. She's a number 5. So maybe having too much of this 4 energy is one of the reasons why Brad Pitt left Jennifer Aniston and went for Angelina Jolie, but it's also probably the reason why him and Angelina Jolie didn't work out in the end also, because if he was overly controlling and overly trying to control the relationship and trying to control Angelina Jolie, then that would be the end of the relationship, because 5s will not let anybody control them. Once somebody tries to control a number 5, they are done. They lose interest in the person. They are just, that's it for them. So I like to think of 5s as kind of being like wild Mustangs. They're like wild horses. They need to run free, and they will not be controlled by anybody. So that's probably why that relationship came to an end, because he has a little bit too much of an imbalance of that for controlling energy. And that does not work well with the 5 who needs to have their freedom. But it does work well with a number 2 because, as I said, 2s don't mind being controlled by another person. They are very cooperative and they will go along with whatever the other person wants to do. And it's very important for them to try to please their partner. And so they don't really mind that like the 5 does. The 5 will not let somebody control them, but the 2, they're okay with it. So in this situation, Brad is actually a much better match for Jennifer Aniston than Angelina Jolie. So him and Jennifer Aniston are just much more compatible with each other. This is a much better combination than him and Angelina Jolie. And also 2s like Jennifer Aniston don't mind being with somebody boring. That's not a problem for them. But for a 5 like Angelina Jolie, to be with somebody boring like Brad Pitt, that's going to be a problem because 5s need to have excitement. So, you know, that's probably another reason why that relationship came to an end. So based off of all of this information, I do think there's a good chance that Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston could actually get back together again someday. Now, I'm not saying that she should take him back or that she should get back together with him, you know, based on what he did. I'm not making any judgments about that, whether she should take him back. I'm just saying that it's possible. It's very, very possible because they are very compatible with each other and because Jennifer Aniston has a lot of that 2 energy, you know, the 2 energy of being the people pleaser, you know, the person that does what the other person wants and really tries to accommodate other people and can be a little bit of a pushover sometimes. She has a lot of that energy, so I could see her taking him back and forgiving him for what he did, and because they are a compatible match. So I'm definitely not saying that she should take him back or that that's something that she should do. All I'm saying is don't be surprised if these 2 do get back together again in the future. In this situation, it is actually very possible. So let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. I want to know what your opinion is. What do you think about everything that I've just said? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out my services, I will leave the information to that below. I would love to have you subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I'm sending you light and love. Take care.